Welcome everyone. I want to show you guys a new game, which I'll be streaming a little bit here and there. It is very similar to WarCraft 3, and I recorded some games that I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to explain to you how it works, because if I played it, then I wouldn't be talking much. So I just wanted to give you kind of like the intro. So these games are from a tournament. Wardy, which you guys probably know, organized the tournament, invited me, and spoilers, I won with a guy I know from other games, other RTS games called Numiden. We played, and there were some StarCraft 2 people, which you might notice. I think in this one we played against Penguin, which you guys might know. So it is very WarCraft 3 alike, so I'm going to walk you guys through some games and just explain it to you how it works. So there's 3 races, and for each race there are 3 different heroes that you pick in the lobby. Now when you enter a game, you have this thing which I heard they might be like changing or doing something with it, I'm not sure. Basically there's like a tank role, damage role, and support role. So what that means is not that all your units are support. It's if you have like a healer and you take the support role, they can be upgraded further. So if you take a tank, your tank units can get upgraded further. That's how it works. Now, all 3 races have different roles and like different things they affect, but I'm not gonna get into that too much. Now, when you start a game, your hero spawns in 80 seconds from the game start. And yeah, this is your main base. So there are 3 races: humans, dinosaurs, and undeads. Undead is actually called undead. The other 2, I'm not actually sure what they're called. You guys will see later. So another cool thing is that the main bases have abilities as well. Outcasts, that's right. The main bases have abilities as well. So this is undead. And the 2 resources you have are gold and wood, and obviously supply. And there is upkeep like in WarCraft 3. Now, there is no supply building, so you don't need to build farms or whatever else. You have 80 supply and that's it. So just like in Warcraft 3, if you get to like a certain amount of upkeep, you start getting less income. Sorry for the spamming. I was checking the map. So the undead main base buildings, I don't know what the hell that spike was. The undead main base abilities are to spawn extra 5 workers for like a minute. That's like a macro mechanic. And the second one is defensive, where you spawn 3 skeletons to fight for you for a certain amount of time. Those that I just summoned. So this is my hero. And again, every race has 3 heroes. Now, this hero, tell me if the sound, by the way, is too loud or whatever. I can't increase it. This is the loudest you can go. So, is this game free? No, it's not free. But most indie games that I play, indie RTS games, I play them and I do like play for a couple of days and I get bored. This one, I actually, after the tournament, I kept playing and I really do enjoy it. Now, I do want to say it is an indie and I don't think it's fully out. I think it's like beta. I'm not sure about this. But there are a lot of pathing issues that they're working on. So again, the game is not 100% completed. So everything you see, like the bugs, that's not intended. That's not how it's going to stay. So another thing I forgot to say. This is a 2v2 game. So this first game I'm going to talk more about in general. And the second, third game I'm going to show you is more like specifics. So it's a 2v2 RTS game. And when you creep, both you and your ally get experience. Each hero has 4 abilities, 1 ultimate and 3 normal ones. And obviously you can pick which spells you level, like in Warcraft 3. It's early access? Okay, there you go. So in this game, they tried to tower rush us. Kind of like a weird bunker rush, I guess. They tried to tower rush towards our base and just kill us with mass ranged units. They picked the same race, and you know that was their plan. Now, each race has like 3 production buildings, and each race is tier 1. Some of races tier 1 are melee, some of them are ranged. So it depends which race you play. Now, you'll see that the units are derping a little bit. It's not super smooth, but again, they're working on it and they're gonna fix it. Now, human tier 1 first unit is a melee unit, spearman. Undead first unit are the Banshees, which are magical units, and these Dino Boys first unit are Gnolls, which are ranged. So there's 3 unit types basically. There is ranged, magical, and melee, or I guess melee. So magical deals bonus damage to melee, melee deals bonus damage to ranged, and ranged deals bonus to magical. So it's like a, you know. So when you play, obviously since it's a team game, you want to organize with your ally who's going to counter what kind of thing. Now, all of the units pretty much have their own abilities or upgrades you can get it to make them do something. The unit that I'm going for, which are the Banshees, the magical one, they have heal on autocast, but you can disable it. You saw that thing, like, it heals like everything around it for like 40. So when you're facing like a lot of AoE damage, what you can do is like stack up the Banshees and just spam the heal, and you just heal everything around you. So this game, Numedan, my ally, expanded very, very early. So because they're doing this and they're obviously committing since they're bunker rushing, and this amount of units, you can see how many units I got because I lost some as well. I knew that they're going like, we both knew they're going for 2 barracks push. So I decided to make my own tower right there to help it defend. And this was a little yikes because they were a level ahead, or one of the heroes was level ahead. But the thing about tier 1 units, just like in any game, they get progressively worse and worse and worse. So the stronger our heroes got, we knew that eventually we're just gonna like one-shot 6 of the tier 1 units because they don't have a lot of health. So we're just trying to play defensive. I didn't have a lot of units. You'll see me like every once in a while. I'll move my Banshees to heal his army. Look at it right now. Look at that. Look at that. See that? Because it only works around my units. Now the abilities. So I have 3 abilities on this hero. The first ability is AoE Fear, but it's melee. So it works great if the opponent is human because you can fear the spearman. First ability, that's the fear is the third one. First ability is you plant like a seed on the ground, and after 2 seconds it explodes and it deals like poison damage, which you're gonna see right there. You see that little thing right there? And then the second ability that I have is it deals damage in 1 line, but if you cast it on this, it makes it do even more damage. So you kind of want to combo those 2. So you'll see it right now. Look how much damage I just chunk out of those units. Even though he moves out instantly, it still does, you know, good bit of damage. My tower's completed, and now, oops, I attacked my ally. And now I'm just trying to kite and trying to heal as much as I can. You can see my Banshees die really fast because they're magical and they're fighting against ranged. So, you know, and my Banshees do like no damage to them. But, you know, since they're all inning, you don't really have a lot of options to like wait and try to get to different units. So I just kept making them and tried to like sustain with heals and shit and shiz. Now I'm level 5, so by being level 5, obviously my hero is much, like even stronger than it was. So now you'll see the damage spike up quite a bit. This is one of the... So I've played this game for a day and a half when I started playing the tournament. So I had to like check a lot of the things in the bottom right, which you guys can't see because of the camera. But I also clicked quite a few things because I just didn't know hotkeys and stuff, and I didn't know what exactly everything does. Look at that snipe on the hero. Boom. Hero deleted. They moved away. I think they went to creep. Yeah, they went to creep to get more levels, and I managed to snipe the blue hero. And then my ally gets like sick spellcast here, slows all the units, and start chunking them down. But yeah, at this point you can see his economy, my ally's economy has kicked in. Look how many units he has. And now I'm just trying to heal his whole army. I run in to fear their units. Look at this cast now. Boop. And they get absolutely shreked. Because again, they tried all in and it didn't work at all. So, boom, victory. Now, this was the first day of the tournament, and this was when, again, I was inexperienced. Now, this you'll see, it's a game at a much higher level, I would say. And the opponents were also much, much stronger. So this is the finals, actually. That was group stage game. This is the grand finals. We were actually losing 1-0, but I'll just show you guys the two very last games. So these guys practiced, I think, the most, and they were probably the hardest team. So you can see instantly I spawned the skeletons. They go to mine wood. I set up my hotkeys and stuff. We played on the same map. The second game we'll play is on a different map. And again, if the sound is too low, it's on max. That's how I recorded it. Oopsie doopsie, so it is what it is. It is what it is. But for next time, but when I stream, I'll try to increase the volume a little bit more. So let me skip through this part. Okay, there it is. So we start creeping, and again, you want to creep together, because if you do them alone, you're going to lose way too much health on your heroes. So there's a lot of different hero abilities, and I do feel that all 9 heroes in the game are quite different from one another. Where they're like unique and used for certain situations. Now, Numadan is playing a different race. He's playing humans now. And this hero we found is super OP, and it's getting nerfed already, by the way. But this hero is broken as hell. You guys will see later why. It's so broken. But yeah, they're nerfing like 2-3 things from it. But now we have like a melee plus magic combo tier 1. Now, you can't see on the high ground, so they went in from the low ground upwards, and they ran into our heroes and got popped quite hard. Now also, I'm playing the same hero, but they chose different heroes, and this is the first or the second time we've seen these heroes, by the way. Because we've never seen anyone play them, which was really cool by them, and it's like a new playstyle that we've seen. So they picked like a ranger, I think it's called ranger hero, which has the most single target damage on auto attacks, and he has a lot of burst, and he has like a dash ability to run faster, and the last ability he has to increase the damage done to a unit and slow it down. Here we managed to kill it. Whoop. So he's like very harass heavy bursty kind of hero, and the other one is an assassin that can do like a small blink, go in stealth, and then it can ambush you, which deals a lot of damage. And if he does it from stealth, it stuns too. So both of their heroes are very like, look at this. Both of their heroes are very like assassin-like. So what they were doing was really like interesting. They harassed us both with the heroes, but they were creeping with their units. So they were still getting XP. They just wanted to disrupt us. Obviously it didn't work because the hero died, but it's a good idea. And we've actually seen it once before, so we were like seen that kind of play before, so we were more prepared to kind of deal with it. Now, so we try to do an early push here because we traded a lot better in the early game, and we saw them go to the gold mine. So we thought we were going to get a good chunk of their units here killed, but it kind of turns out really awkward. You'll see why. Like this time they're not, they're not massing tier 1 units. You can see the ranger is trying to kill my hero. I'm trying to kite it away. And the creeps on the right, by the way, they're the neutral creeps. So we kind of got flanked by neutral creeps, which was really awkward. I try to get some healing here. Look at this ability now. Boom. Pop that unit, zone out the others, and we just keep dodging and kiting. Because I'm making Banshees, so the longer the fight goes, it's better for us, because I can just spam heals and try to regen that way. Boom, boom, boom. So we pick off a couple more units and we keep running. So abilities have between like 30 and 40 second cooldown. And what I was trying to here to just run away. So now I can burst. Look at that damage now. Look at that damage. Woo. Tier 1 units. We keep kiting over here. Keep doing damage. And they're like really, really overcommitting at this point. Because I don't think... Oh yeah, they have one hero. But they're overcommitting super hard. So they end up bleeding a lot of units. Which, you know, not what you want to do. So at this point we felt pretty good. Because I have the middle expo. So this map has 3 expos on the right, 3 on the left. Or 4 expos on the right, 4 on the left. And then it has 1 in the middle. So if you take this base, then you're gonna win on economy. You don't need to do anything. So again, they don't have vision, so I kind of whiffed the ability here. But they keep trying to go on the high ground, which again, this is like the defender's advantage, because they have no vision what's above. But they decide to go for it, which... not the best idea, I would say. I go in here for a fear to get the melee units away. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. This is my ally's ability. The orange thing. Look at this. He pops the whole backline and roots them, follows it up. Sadly, my abilities are like on 5 second more cooldown, so I didn't have, I couldn't use my stuff. Look at this. Oh, that was thick. I basically kill all their units with that. I lose my hero, but you know, it is what it is. Now, Mix overextends with his hero. We managed to body block it. Can I just insta replay? So he blinks in, snipes a unit, but then we managed to body block him, and he loses the hero straight away. So probably not worth it. Or no, it's actually worth it because our heroes are both dead, so we didn't get XP. And heroes get revived for free, by the way. You don't need to buy the heroes. They get revived for free. And obviously the higher level they are, the longer they take. Now these units right here, these right here, are really, really good. They're like super ranged. Like they're like a siege unit, but they deal so much damage. Splash. So they're really, really good. Now, let me skip a little bit. Since nothing's happening. Okay. So we don't need to watch every single thing. So hero is transitioning to melee units, slowly but surely. And my ally has the full siege units. Look at that snipe. That assassin hero almost wrecked my hero completely. Look at that. The power of mages. We just deleted half of their army. Now, that might look like OP, but basically their playstyle at this point is like Giga all in. They haven't expanded yet at all. And they're just trying to end the game, because assassin heroes are like good, but unless you get ahead, they're really bad. And I feel like this is the same thing with any game, you know? Even in WarCraft 3, if your Blade Master is level 2 and the opponent heroes are level 5, you're probably going to lose the game. So, so at one point, one of the guys' games freezes, and Numedan and I like just wait a little bit, and they end up sieging us without saying that the guy's back. So we were like,
Listen if you dare.
You know? Bruh.
Every battlefield is just an
That's what I wrote. We stopped playing. And they just like sieged up my base while we were AFK. Amazing. But, you know, it didn't matter. Now you'll see a new unit that I have. This big boy right here, this thick. He's like the, I guess, tier 3 unit for undead. He's super duper tanky. Now look at this. Look at this. This is insta replay. This is why this hero is nerfed or getting nerfed. This hero right here for my ally. So I should have waited for him to ult first and then I should do my abilities. But I saw a good opportunity and I went for it. So I cast my abilities. And then he casts his ult. And he gathers them all up. You see that burning fire? And we completely obliterate their whole army. Like, completely wrecked. At this point, we were like super far ahead. We would have beaten them anyway. But there it is. We get like the fattest spells. And they go down. Now this unit that I have, you can see I'm trying to cast this little thing. It has like a charge up ability. And it's like 2 seconds and then it slams and deals AoE damage. Which is, it's pretty good. And that unit counters the ranged units. And all of their units were ranged, so... You know, we literally started, or we were building like the perfect counter, which was siege units that deal splash because they have a lot of tier 1. And I started building the tanking units which counter the rangers, so yeah. At this point the game is over. Quickly show you guys game number, the final game of the finals. We're gonna skip through the boring parts because we kind of went over those. Oh yeah, so this is a different map. This is a big map. Like this is a very, very big map. So here we decided to go for double... Wait, was it here? Maybe it wasn't. What did we go here? I thought we went for... Oh no, we didn't. I went for an expand. Oh no, in the previous game in this series that we also won, we went for double barracks pressure, both of us. And the game turned out really weird. We were both massing units for a while. And we ended up winning in the end, but yeah. So this map, like I said, is much bigger, and the brightness, you will see it bugs out a lot. And I've reported this so they're aware. So you can see here, it looks normal, but then you go where my hero is and it's like super dark. So hopefully they fix this soon because it's kind of like yikes, but yeah. Okay, so here I go for fast expand, just 1 Rax fast expand. And I think you'll see another bug here. Yeah, look at this. When you look at near middle where the watchtowers are, the screen like splits in 4.
Time to take
Look at that.
matters into my own hands.
Honestly, I think the first thing they should fix is obviously these like graphic bugs like that happens, and the unit pathing. There's quite a few units derping around and kind of like not knowing. Look at that. Oh man, look at that. Oh ho ho. But yeah, sadly I played the same hero 3 games in a row. But like I said, I want to stream a Year of Rain tomorrow, and I'm gonna play other races. I'm gonna play different heroes so you guys can see how all the other races and heroes work. So here we go for Skirmish, and we get kind of wrecked. Like, we managed to pick off some units, but Banshees are probably they're not necessarily the weakest. They're really good against melee, but because they're both going for ranged units, my Banshees are getting wrecked. Oh, one of them is going for melee, sorry. But the guy with ranged units just focused down my Banshees, and I was like, well, that's not good. Now, we have the OP hero, they have the OP hero, and they have the Gnoll Chieftain. I think that's what it's called. So yeah, they keep pushing, but I felt like the whole series, they kept getting debated into running into my hero. Look at this. Running into my hero. Boop. And they kept doing that like whole series, where they keep following my hero, and I turn around and I just slam dunk them and kill half of their units. Because my hero is a mage. It has like no health, it has no mobility, no movement speed, nothing, but it does a lot of damage. Oh, and my ultimate, I forgot to say. My ultimate is like I can empower my next ability. So instead of the thing in the middle being like this, it's like a lot bigger. If I empower my damage ability, it does more damage, and if I empower my fear, the fear lasts longer. Yeah, there's no mana in this game. It's everything's cooldown based. And I actually kind of like that, to be honest. Now, regarding campaign, I haven't played it. I don't know if I will play it. But there are items in the campaign for your heroes. So I don't know if they plan to add items in multiplayer. I have no idea. So yeah, the one thing you can do is you can kill your hero, because this time I didn't go for the Banshee upgrade for healing. So I just told them to kill my hero so that I respawn with full health and I don't give them XP if I die. But I do think that after they nerf this hero, it's probably always good to go, if not have a hero that heals, have units that heal at least, because otherwise you're gonna end up with units with like no health all the time, and you know, you're either gonna give free XP or you're gonna suicide them, which is obviously not good. So this time I went for a different build because they beat us game number 1 with mass siege units, like both of them, and there's the plane outside. And what we figured is a counter to that is for my ally to go for the siege ones, so in case they stack their units, he can wreck them. And I went for mass melee. So because I got fast expansion, I pretty much got like 3-4 Banshees, and I went straight into the tier 3 units. And they just weren't really aggressive. We also kind of faked aggression a little bit, so it gave us time for me to get to those units. You can see I'm stacking money because I'm waiting for the tier 3 building to finish so I can start producing the big boys. We do a camp right here. Also, the camps give you a little bit of money, resources when you kill them, as well as XP as well. XP as well. Well said. Speed through. Okay, so because one of the games we also beat them with mass melee, and they had mass siege because it was 3-1, so we played 4 games total. They saw that the melee counters their siege super hard, so they started going Djinns, which I haven't had too much experience playing against them, and I think they do quite well, work quite well versus my Minotaur boys, but they were really far behind in economy because I have 2 bases mining, and he also loses like all of them here, or gets them super low. So the fight happens. You can see I'm trying to do the casted Minotaurs. I fear that, look at this is instant replay. Look at this fear. So again, the fear is melee, and if you fear it from this angle, the hero will run that way. So what I did is I went above his hero, feared it, so it runs downwards. So yeah, here we get a really good trade, and we like wreck their units pretty much. We get the hero as well, and we completely like obliterate their army. Shrek'd. Now, one thing, the first 2 games I showed you guys, I went for support role. Look at this. My ally roots them, and I managed to get the Minotaur thing. So the first 2 games I went support role, which gives your Banshees, when you auto attack, it slows the enemy. But that was when I went for heal on Banshees as well. This game, because I rushed to tier 3, I went for the tank role, which the first tier of it regens your, look at this. That was shit. The first tier regens all your melee units health by 1% every 5 seconds. And you can upgrade it, I think, up to 3% every 5 seconds. So obviously if you're gonna mass melee units, that role is the best because you're gonna have your units regen, you don't need to heal them. And these units are like 3 times more expensive than like the one normal unit, the Minotaur boys. That's why I have like only 3 of them and I'm 50 supply. So here we're trying to poke them because we have better heroes for that. I get rooted. It does a little bit of damage on me. I get a sick fear right there. Boom. And now I start casting the charge ups with my Minotaurs. See, this is where I should have had my fear, so I can fear the melee units from the opponents, from my ally siege units, but I used it. Look at that ability, dude. It's so broken. That's why that hero is getting nerfed. He literally just wiped their whole army. Correct. But yeah, my hero looks like super duper strong, and I think it is against mages, but when you play against assassins, assassin hero can kill you in like 3 seconds. Beastie, we do plan to do more open tournaments in the future. Would you be up to play in them? Yeah, sure. I mean, again, Numudan is probably up for it as well. So, yeah. Like I said, usually I play indie RTS games, and it's like fun for 2 days, but when I did the tournament, I was like, okay, that was fun, and I expected I'll stop playing, but I've played, you know, 2-3 hours, I would say, every day since the tournament, which was 4 days ago. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I've been trying other races and other heroes, and you can do a lot of different play styles, and there's a lot of unit comps you can do because it's a 2v2 game. So there's a lot of different things you can try and do. And I still haven't tested. There are also stealth units, and there's also a lot of magic units with very, very cool abilities, but you know, look at this. He got rooted and he got absolutely wrecked. There's a lot of magic units with interesting abilities, but you know, the more complicated units are, the longer it takes for people to figure them out. So obviously the first thing people are going to do is spam tier 1. When that gets beaten, people are going to spam the strongest tier 3 units. And I think the next kind of stage in gameplay is to figure out, you know, magic units and more balanced unit comps. Ah, this was so cool. Look at this. So we get ulted on pretty hard, but my tank boys don't really take a lot of damage. My ally loses like almost everything. So I get the 6 spell right here, do damage to all of these, and then all my Minotaurs cast the ability, and look at this, and literally like demolish. Well, demolish is a, you know, but they do a lot of damage, okay? Because these units that are running, they're also tanks, so they take a while to kill. But yeah, at this point, I mean, we kind of wrecked them pretty hard. We're killing their base. This is the human base. Now, the human ability, I mean, I told the developers already, I wrote it on Discord, like, I think it's pretty weak. So their town hall ability, or main base ability, whatever you want to call it, is to be able to put workers inside and then the main base shoots. But that's the only ability they have. And I feel like compared to the other 2 races, it's probably a little bit weak. But it's also very hard to push them, you know, because you have this gigantic building that also does damage. So here they're trying to engage us because they're super duper all in. I get 6 spell right there. And even though like they're doing damage to my Minotaurs, they're just not taking any damage because they only have 2 magical units there. So there's like not enough to kill them. Because they were really far behind on economy at this point. You can see even 2-3 Djinns like destroy that Minotaur so fast. But they just didn't have enough at the end of the day. Oh yeah, I did like a tower right here. Because these are the only 2 gold mines they could have had potentially. But they didn't even have that. And GG gets cold, boys. So yeah, that's a Year of Rain. Again, I'll probably be streaming it tomorrow. So, you know, if some of you guys are playing it, you can feel free to join. But that's it. There's a lot of different units. I do think that obviously they need to fix the bugs and stuff, but so far the direction they're going, I feel like a lot of the units are very, very different. The heroes are different, and yeah, I've been enjoying it. So I'll be streaming it. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, I would love to hear your opinion. And if you guys are watching this on Twitch, I'd love to hear what you think about the game as well. Thank you for watching.